Hey folks, Troy Dooley, MLM Help Desk, and I'm doing this editorial. Is the Empower Network the next Zeek rewards? And right off the bat, I want you to know, right? I'm not talking about from a legal standpoint, is it a Ponzi or pyramid or any of that? That's not what I'm getting at. I'm talking about the behavior of both companies and distributors surrounding, in this case, Empower Network. And here's why I say this. Over the last month, I have received, countless emails, text messages, phone calls, Facebook messages, Google Plus messages, you name it, we've gotten it in. People saying, we've been terminated or threatened to be terminated because of our affiliation with the Empower Network and our primary company. And people are a little bit confused, so I decided that we need to do an editorial on this because this is a controversial subject. I've seen this going all the way back to 2000, 2001, when I was part of Kevin Lehman's ProStep, because ProStep was a network marketing company, probably the pioneer of online systems. And because it was a network marketing company, constantly was combating Excel Communications and all these other companies on, hey, we don't want our people to be a part of that. And we'd get terminations. People, it was freaky. And now what we're seeing is an onslaught of this, not just from one company, but several companies. And people saying, and this is the confusion, people are saying, Troy, this is not a competing product. Why are they terminating me? I love my company. I call up and talk to executives and founders in companies, and they're very clear. Troy, they're cross-recruiting. They're bringing people into their Empower Network downline. And we can't have that. We have our policies. And what I see is really two things: lack of communication and lack of understanding. I think sometimes companies will have a knee-jerk reaction, so they just terminate, or they send out a warning letter, or somehow or another they tell them you have to stop, without giving any thought process to what that means. That's a business that they've built. It's a system that they're using. Their whole internet footprint, in a lot of cases, are surrounding that. We have this phenomenal community where we're constantly thinking about the positive side of things. We roll into our companies full of vigor and excitement, but we don't read the policies and procedures. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with a couple of people this week, and they made it very clear to me, Troy, we never signed anything. We never even clicked the button on the website. All we did was give our upline through her back office all the information, and she signed us up. Wow. Now that covers a whole different ballgame, but this is what we're going through, and I hate seeing this. And I want to cover the specifics, and I pulled just 3 policies and procedures out. I took out the names of the companies to protect the innocent or the guilty, or however that statement goes. But here's an example of one. It says, the MLM company conducts business in an ethical and credible manner and expects all IDs to work ethically with their customers and with each other and with the company. MLM company prohibits no unethical activity. An MLM company will intervene when unethical behavior is evident. MLM company, now this is the part I want you guys to listen to. MLM company reserves the right to use its best judgment in deciding whether certain ID activities are unethical, and if determined so, are grounds for termination or deactivating the position. The company makes the decision on what is ethical or unethical. If they decide somebody's part of the Empower Network, just like a few months ago they were part of Zeek Rewards. We heard the same thing from former affiliates of Zeek Rewards. Troy, I'm being terminated by all these, the companies was all over the place. There wasn't just one, everybody. Troy, they found out I'm in Zeek Rewards. Why would they terminate me? It has nothing to do. My people have stayed on auto ship. The same thing. The companies reserve the right to decide carte blanche what's ethical or unethical, and they're doing this to protect their brand. So fully understand their viewpoint, where they're coming from. I get it. Now, let's go on. I want to read a couple other things. If for any reason the ID violates any of the terms of the agreement and or these policies and procedures, MLM company reserves the right to immediately terminate. Their number one reason, cross-recruiting, which is what I'm finding. I am literally finding that people are being terminated from companies that they love, that they're building, because of cross-recruiting. They're being warned. They're being told to stop. They're saying, I can't stop. I'm making $2,000 or $3,000 a month over here, or I'm making $500 a month, or it's helping me get my leads, all this kind of stuff. And due to that, they're not stopping. But they're saying, I'm not cross-sponsoring anybody. The company's growing. Everybody's building. The problem is, and I'm going to use Zeek Rewards first as an example. Zeek Rewards push the compensation plan. Earn all this money. When I go over and I look at the Empower Network, and I have studied the actual system of the Empower Network, without a doubt, that system can help anybody build a business. I'm a firm believer of that. I use a lot more advanced techniques than what they use, but it works. I've seen it work. I've got friends of mine in there that use it. It works. But just like Zeek Rewards, they're promoting the compensation plan. We've paid out millions and I think it's tens of millions of dollars in just this year alone, because Empower Network is pushing the comp plan. Companies, illegal teams, the executives, they get their hair up. Now listen, this is the kicker right here. Cross-recruiting. MLM company strictly prohibits cross-recruiting, which is the solicitation of any ID who was already referred by another ID, directly or indirectly, soliciting involvement of a referring ID. This basically means if you go out there and talk to anybody in your upline, your downline, or crossline about anything, if they, because this is the internet, if they see that you're growing your business, they see somewhere where you say, hey, because I'm using Empower Network, I've been able to grow. Let's pick a company that I didn't write about. Here we go. Because I'm using the Empower Network, I'm able to build my Pampered Chef business. And they're in Pampered Chef and they join you, that's cross-recruiting. That's the company gets to make this decision. Okay, now here's another policy. We got 3 companies. I can't go through all of them, but I want you to listen to this one. Non-interference and exclusivity policy. During the term of this agreement and any renewals, I will not sell any other product for any entity competing with the MLM company. Now listen to that. I will not sell any products for any entity competing. It didn't say competing products, and this is what we're hearing. Troy, my company sells health and nutrition. I'm marketing a system to help other people sell health and nutrition. That isn't what this says. See, almost every network marketing company, MLM company, direct selling company, whatever you do, the end of the day, you got to move your products. But when you're building an MLM team, an organization, a network marketing network, whatever you want to call this thing, when you do that, you're promoting the business. Well, let me not say that that's out of compliance with the FTC. You're promoting the income opportunity of that network marketing company. So the policy in this case, non-interference and exclusivity, is saying that because you are promoting Empower Network, you are violating the policies and procedures because you're promoting another income opportunity to the same small sphere of influence, the network marketing community. And that lies the issue. Now, the question is, well, Troy, can I sue my company? Heck yeah, I mean, there's always an attorney. As a matter of fact, if you listen to me, don't just watch this freaking video. You need to go read the editorial, because I list all of some of the brightest legal minds in network marketing have covered these specific subjects from the company standpoint and from the distributor standpoint, so that you can fully understand what's out there. This is nothing new. This has been going on almost since the dawn of network marketing. And that's what you need to understand. There's always legal ramifications. There's a lot of times that the policies and procedures would not uphold in court. Let's take the non-compete. This is a big one. Almost every network marketing company I've seen has a non-compete clause in it. 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, doesn't matter. It's got it in it. If you look at some of the federal and state laws from California across to the East Coast, non-compete clauses can't work. And if your company is based out of California and they have a non-compete clause in their policies and procedures, it's not enforceable based on my opinion of interpreting what I've seen already in the cases that have already had judgments rendered. And you can see this over in the editorial if you watch it or go read it. Now, here's something else. Let's go to the second company. The second company that I list on here talks about its ambassadors, and it says they're free to participate in any multi-level or network marketing business opportunity, completely different than the first company. However, this is in their policies and procedures. However, during the term of this agreement, ambassadors may not directly or indirectly recruit other MLM ambassadors, MLM company, I took out the company names, or customers other than those they have personally sponsored for another business. Now, in this case, they're saying, hey, if they're your personals, go ahead and do whatever you want, but you can't go into your downline, which is common practice. But I want to read something, and this is another good company. Let's go all the way down. This was a long one. It was hard to put this. Disciplinary actions. Now listen. If you violate any of the policies and procedures, the terms and conditions of the ambassador agreement, or engage in any illegal, fraudulent, deceptive, or unethical business conduct, we may, at our sole discretion, invoke any disciplinary action that we deem appropriate, among all the way up to, in this case, they let their top field leaders determine termination. Okay, same type of deal. Now, we put a third company in here. Theirs is actually a lot harder. They're saying that you can't, in the third company, you'll have to go read it. It's non-solicitation, conflict of interest. They're saying you can't talk to your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, any of your personals. You can't talk to anybody if you decide to leave their company. So this is common practice. But because distributors don't read the terms and conditions going in, usually when something happens like this, they freak out. Companies, in most cases, really don't need to freak out on all this stuff. My suggestion would be that companies create systems that will help build the primary business and co-brand that individual at the same time, so that they're out there feeling like, hey, we're growing our business and we're growing ourselves. Now, the companies are going to tell you, that's not our position, Troy. We're here to build our brand. And that's true. Except that when I go out of my way to watch what like BK Barreco does over at Vima, what Richard Brooke does over at 2110. You know, when I see these guys in action, these are guys that have been distributors in the field, their own, and run companies today. They understand, hey, we're going to help build our people, and we're going to help build them individually, and they promote and they brand them and they get excited about it. And we all need to do that. We do not need to have this scarcity mentality or this fear mentality. And we always preach that. We always preach, don't have scarcity mentality. We always preach that don't be fearful of what might happen. But yet the numbers, this is an old saying in insurance, the numbers never lie. So when a company founder and the executive team start to see the numbers go down, all of a sudden they start looking around, and if they see where somebody's building two companies, okay, that must be what our problem is. Let's go trash them. And you know, the sad thing is, I've probably gotten 10 to 20 different termination, well, I don't want to call them lawsuits, but some of them are lawsuits. Some of them are already, they're in court. Some of them are just warning letters. And here's the thing, this is the holiday season. This is the season, the time of year when not only are we supposed to be thankful, we're supposed to be giving back. And yet here we have people whose whole livelihoods in some cases revolved around their network marketing company. And they've been terminated. And then what do we get? We get other companies that come in and say, hey man, we want to help you out. We've got a home for you. If you want to bring your team over here, let's get you can start making money. And then what happens? They get another lawsuit saying, okay, now you're really cross-recruiting because you've joined XYZ company. This is really a controversial issue that we need to grasp. You know, there's all kinds of stuff on the table at the DSA and at the ANMP and some of these others, but you and I in the field and company owners that watch this, hey, we need to figure out a way to work together to stop some of this crap. Because what I see right now is another just a black eye. People getting terminated because they're in the Empower Network for the same reason they got terminated with Zeek Rewards, when at the end of the day, they really passionately want to grow their primary business. But they're just looking to try to build themselves as they do it. Guys, seriously, go read the editorial. I put a lot of the policies and procedures up there. I put information up there from Grimes and Reese, Jerry Nera, Richard Walk, Jeffrey Babner, David Eisenstein, who actually is an MLM distributor attorney, Rod Cook. I put the IRS publication 911 that you can't get in print right now, that really breaks it down for the distributor. What is an independent contractor and what is an employee? And I'm telling you, there's some of these policies and procedures that the companies are borderline on, and it's scary because if at any time the IRS were to come back and say, these are so stringent that they're employment contracts, not independent contractor agreements, that could harm everybody, guys. That's what the DSA fights all the time, and we need to be working with them, not against them, in making sure that we're all on the same page. So even though people have said, Troy, you need to go build your Ocean Avenue business and you need to stop being on your pedestal and all this, man, I tell you what, I just can't. Because there's certain things that we got to promote. There's certain things that we got to talk about. And as my great friend and my mentor, Richard Brooks, says, you know, we have got to unite together and work with each other. So if you're a company owner, give this some thought. Get with your legal team. Get with your compliance people. And man, think this through before you just terminate people because they're out there in the Empower Network or some other online system that has a compensation plan. It's the compensation plan, I'm talking to distributors, that is the issue that scares in some cases and frustrates in others company owners, because you guys are out there saying that the system's helping you build your business, but really you're pushing the compensation plan at the same time. And that, again, here lies the issue. It's not about competing products, it's about the competing income opportunity that is the violation. Because most of the time you won't find somebody promoting to the same product, but they do promote two different business opportunities, or excuse me, income opportunities, and that's the issue. Folks, live life like it's an epic adventure. Stay dangerous, stay strong, and if you're in network marketing, act like it.